Cheers, Karen.
Yes, cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Thank you so much for doing this International Women's Series.
Appreciate being asked.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. And just a little bit about International Women's Series. So how it started was, I literally was on Facebook and I was going to go through and wish people, girlfriends of mine, happy International Women's Day. And it got to be so many that Facebook wouldn't take any more names. So I'm like, gosh, I got some really cool friends, female friends, powerhouses, And then I just started thinking, how can I celebrate these women, and also celebrate them in the community and let everyone else know how wonderful they are, So that's kind of how it started. And I did it for 2 years, and then obviously we were hit with COVID. Let's take a sip of this. Yeah. And then COVID, came upon us, and so I wasn't able to do it this year. So I'm so grateful, because we're kind of a little bit away of getting back to normal, or what the new normal.
And if it weren't for COVID, I wouldn't know you.
Yeah, true.
Thanks to Hungry Hearts Community Meals and
Yep.
Western Tree Restaurant Des Moines Bar,
Yep.
helping us to feed those who need some food intervention.
Yeah, and that's
So
been
grateful
such an
to
honor to do that. It's really, it makes your heart feel so good,
It sure does.
So thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. Hungry Hearts is a great. You want to talk a little bit more about it?
Well, Hungry
Yeah.
Hearts is an effort to do a food intervention during the special needs that COVID-19 presented, caring about those who are hungry, but also about the restaurants who are pillars in our community, who form community, and who provide jobs. And so, modeling after some other programs, we began Hungry Hearts Community Meals, inviting restaurants to prepare meals to be given away free to those in the Mitchell Corridor, in the south part of our city. And we've been providing 303 meals, restaurant prepared.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday. since
Yeah,
the end
rain
of
or
May.
shine.
Rain or shine.
Rain,
or
sleet, snow, or shine. Yeah.
And we're going through the summer.
Yeah.
So we're
And it's
excited
wonderful.
about it.
I've asked all the girls, women, to come up with a dish that's special to them, or like something that when you get home from work that you can whip up or whatever. And Karen said, "You know what, Suzette? You pick it for me. I don't know what to. I don't know. I haven't been in a kitchen in a long time." So I'm like, okay. Well, I thought, how about primavera? And because you tell us a little, you have gardens.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a Just Good Food, Justice Good for You food
Yeah.
garden
I love
at
that.
Tippecanoe Church. And we grow up to 4,000 pounds of organic vegetables each summer, given away to food pantry to go to those who wouldn't have access to fresh vegetables.
Yeah. And
So-
organic. I mean, you can't. Yeah. So I thought, well, how can I incorporate that? Because we'll use vegetables from your garden in June when you're.
Wonderful.
So, but I just kind of, so we're doing a primavera risotto. And so these are vegetables that I had handy at the restaurant. So I thought what we can do, here's a carrot. You can just kind of peel that for me.
Okay.
And then also here's a leek. And I can, if you're not aware, I can show you how to do that.
Okay.
And then we'll just kind of saute all these vegetables, and then we'll add them to our risotto.
That sounds wonderful.
I'm also on this side, I'm going to start making the risotto. And actually what I'll have you do next is
The onion.
the onion, so I can use that for my risotto. You
I
like the
my
tips.
fingers.
So always kind of keep and you really don't like this roly-poly. So really maybe you should cut it in half. But this is what I'm going to do. So we're going to cut this off, and you can just put that there. And then you can cut it in half. If we can get into it. It's got a tough skin on it. And you always want flat edges when you're cutting, so you're not rolling around. We'll cut this end off.
Stubborn.
Yeah, that skin's really thick. And then we'll just kind of peel.
Okay.
And unfortunately, you see me tossing this in the garbage. Normally, I keep all of this. And this is what we make our vegetables. We make vegetable stock out of it.
Oh, really?
Because what's wrong with it, right?
Right.
Instead of using beautiful, perfect vegetables, you're going to get the same flavor,
Absolutely.
And then everyone that works here is like, you don't let anything go to waste, Suzette. I'm like, no.
Do you want more of this off?
You can just cut that up if you want. And then you can however you decide you want, but what I do is I just slice it like this.
Well, her doing it.
Just like this. And then even like this, if you get to that point, you can go like that. You just always want a firm, you know, so it's not rolling around. Like you wouldn't want to be cutting your onion like this.
Right.
So then just kind of like so. Okay? And then I'm going to get the pan going over here. Okay, now you can tell us about...
You think I can do this and talk, huh? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well, who am I? I am a second career pastor. I was a special education teacher working with mildly emotionally disturbed children. Left that to be a full-time mom. I have 3 grown sons. And then I realized that best part of what I did as a teacher and maybe as a mom was my deep connection to divine presence in the world, the universal power of love and light. And so decided then to do what I needed to do to become a Presbyterian pastor. Okay, so I'm not doing this right.
No, you're doing it fine. There's no right or wrong with cooking. As long as you have a glass of Prosecco next to you, right?
So I went back to school and in my 40s became a Presbyterian pastor. And
Now, were your children grown then?
They, two in college, one...
You can leave them right like this.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
you don't need them fine.
No,
Okay,
because this is gonna go in our risotto.
okay.
So you can gather up the rest of that and put it right in here. Another little trick, just so you know, is you can always use your knife, Karen, as kind of like a spatula,
Okay.
or as like a scraper. You can, And what we're gonna do is just saute the onions. I'm gonna add a little bay leaf.
Smells good already.
Just a little. Another thing you can do right now is just cut a little. And what I do, just put the knife right in here like that because it's vacuum sealed. It's kind of hard to cut. Yeah, you just want to kind of sweat your onions a little bit. So your children weren't grown yet.
No, they were in college.
Okay, well, that's grown. And they're
That's
on
grown to me.
they could be on their own. Yeah.
Right.
Let me bring you over here too. Yeah. So I'm just kind of caramelizing the onions a little bit, and then I'm gonna just add. This is Oreo rice. Yeah. So this is a nice alternative when people, you know, say the pasta tree. Oh, I can't have pasta. Well, we do a lot of other things in pasta, you know, and you could have a beautiful risotto, you know. So I'm just gonna kind of. You like to just kind of coat the. Lack of a better word, kernels in the oil, and then I'm going to deglaze it with white wine. If you didn't want to use white wine, you could use anything. I mean, you could use different types of. You could use brandy. You could, you know, or you can just do vegetable stock or whatever you like. So I like to use a little white wine. So we just kind of. Glaze with this. Stirring is very important. The more you stir and you go through these cycles of like absorption to the kernel or the rice, and that's what makes it really creamy. And that's where the beauty of risotto is. So risotto it takes, you know, a while to make, but it's well worth the effort. And then you see this is vegetable stock here. We use vegetable stock for our risotto because some people might, even if the dish that I'm doing is chicken added, I still do vegetable just in case someone wants it without the chicken. Right. They're safe to have it. Yeah. So then you know, start ladling in your broth. And again, you could use, if you were doing like a seafood risotto, you could use a shellfish stock, and then you just kind of wait till it all gets absorbed, and then you add again. Okay. And you keep doing that until it's tender. So that's where the time consuming. So we should be sitting here stirring. I just kind of wanted to show you, and I'm doing a very large batch. I mean, this is a batch for the restaurant, but if we were gonna make it, I'm gonna make it to use at the restaurant.
Sure.
So I mean, a normal home cook would only be using probably maybe a cup of risotto, but the basics are the same. So I'm actually gonna turn this off because we're gonna move forward with, I already made some
Okay.
and I have it already here. So we're gonna prep your vegetables right now and then we'll saute those and add our risotto that's already made. So at 40 years old, you decided to become a pastor.
Right. And
And why did you pick Tippy Canoe?
well, I don't know if I picked Tippy or Tippy picked me.
Or maybe Tippy picked you.
But
Were you a member of it?
Oh no.
Okay.
I just moved here from Northern California.
All right.
And
California girl.
California. And when you start a second career in your 40s, you aren't going to waste any time.
Right.
And you're going to go someplace where you can really do the work. And Tippy had been without a pastor for quite a while, and we met, and we were not alike, and that's how we knew we might just be the perfect match.
Right. We'll just kind of set it right over here.
Okay.
And then the leek, what you do, have you ever cleaned a leek? Okay. So leeks grow in sand. So you can kind of see already right in here. Keep your stem on here and just cut it down the middle. Like so. There you can see.
Oh yes.
And then what we'll do is just cut it, you know, just kind of do like so. I do, yep. Some people don't use that green part. I do. I don't see why you wouldn't. The only reason would be toughness, but we're putting it in a risotto. So you can see all the kind of the sand in there. So I will just put it right in the water, and then we'll just kind of swish it around once we get all this in here. What I was going to say with cutting it like this, you could actually like take this under a sink and kind of go like this, you know, and get all the, you know, go into all the grooves and get all the sand out. But we have our little container of water here that we can use. All right. It does. Okay, and then I'm going to clean this out and get my hands wet. We do an arugula salad with fennel in it, and it's wonderful with crispy prosciutto on top, and it's a wonderful wonderful dish. So this you can see, and this stuff was rinsed beforehand, so we'll just kind of take this off, and then you can just slice it.
Okay.
Maybe do a slit here, and then slice like that. Okay, just so it's so it's just a little bit smaller. So then from California, what brought you here? Family or?
No, my husband had a job opportunity and we decided to take it. We would tell them we're going to Milwaukee. Milwaukee, gee, that sounds exciting.
It sounds exciting. Is that right by Paris?
It's in Wisconsin.
Isn't there? I think there's a Paris, Wisconsin.
I think there is too.
Yeah.
And it has been a wonderful place to be.
It is. It is.
It's not what people assume it to be.
It's not like the movie Fargo that they're trying to jazz it off as, you know.
Right.
So I'm going to start my pan here and just kind of start sauteing some of the veggies.
Okay.
We'll actually move this. And we use, Karen, for our, we use extra virgin olive oil for cooking. Why not, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to heat up my oil a little bit. So then next you can do the zucchini. We probably only need half of that.
Okay.
Okay. So you've lived here 23 years.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm actually doing weddings of
raised 2 children here.
Yeah.
Were they born here?
No, they were born in Maryland and D.C.
Okay.
That's where I was when they were born.
Okay.
And and I'm actually doing weddings of kids that were babies when I first. So that is so exciting.
Yeah. Well, now tell us a little bit about your charity then.
Literacy Camp started at Tippy Church about...
Here we have our
that's
new
our
logo.
That's right. Thank
So
you for that.
Arts and Science Literacy Camp.
It's been with us for about 9 seasons now, and it is a response to gun violence, tongue violence, poverty, and joblessness in our city.
Gun violence, and what was the second one?
Tongue violence.
What's tongue? Oh, verbal.
Yes, verbal abuse.
Oh.
So it was Tippy's. We were trying to figure out a way to address the need in the city, and what we knew we could do is cut it off at the pass, get to the source of the problem, which is lack of education skills. So, and just use the whole thing, not trim anything off.
I think we're good. I mean, just usually kind of my rule of thumb is do this, you know, if it, so you could probably just break off a little bit. That's a little tougher.
Okay.
Them all together and make this beautiful risotto. All right, these we're gonna put in at the very end, and the peas we'll put in at the very end. So, and then spinach. So those will cook really fast. I'm gonna add these to here, and then we're gonna start with our already prepped risotto. Okay. So if you were doing this at home, and let's say you made it like this, but you made a small pot,
Yes.
you could saute your veggies like this, or you could, once your risotto's almost done, you could add these raw right in there. I think you're getting more flavor by starting sauteing them first.
Smells delicious.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add some risotto because we already have. We already have these veggies all cooked.
So you can make risotto ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And you can even freeze that if you want. I'm gonna add a little veg stock, just so it's not, we're not frying rice. And I'm just gonna pull these out. And we won't use all these veggies in it, but.
Same idea, let it soak in.
Yep, a little bit, yep. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic here. Actually, I'll add it in here. Turn this off. We'll just give a little bit of veggie here.
Oh, that looks beautiful. Smells
Yeah.
delicious.
And then we can season this a little bit too. If there's a little bit of salt and pepper over here.
You want to use that?
You can, yep. You can season it for me.
Hardly any salt or pepper.
Yep. Yep. Great. Then we're just going to kind of let this heat all the way through. We can add, actually let's add these. We'll add a little bit of peas, some spinach.
Just a few.
Yeah, it'll totally break down, so that's great. And then you can add the tomatoes too.
Okay.
Perfect, yeah. Look at at you doing a little spatula.
I'm learning, paying attention.
And then you can see, you know, all the liquid's gone here. So we're just going to add just a touch more.
Let it cook through.
Let it cook through. And then at this point, if you wanted to, like we have some fresh parsley over here, we can add that. It's already kind of been seasoned with the thyme. You could also, you know, if you had rosemary, whatever herbs you wanted to, you could even add some pesto if you wanted.
Sounds good too.
Yeah.
Can't ever have too much garlic.
No, don't. And then for me, then I'm going to add, what I usually do is I add a little Alfredo, which is just, it's Parmesan and cream.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to add some cream, and then we're going to finish it with the Parmesan cheese. Okay? And another, you can also, if you really want to lighten the risotto up even more, we usually will also whip our cream and add it right at the end whipped, and that just kind of gives it even a little bit more airy of a texture to it. We'll add a little bit of the Parmesan cheese, which is right there, and I'm just going to add just a tiny, tiny touch more stock. We'll go so. Maybe about a half a cup there. And I know we talked about, Karen, what I envisioned this with is having a fried squash blossom on top. That's my goal for your dish. So
We're going to really try hard.
we're going to try. Yeah, I'll find them. I'll find them somewhere.
It's still early in the growing season.
Yep, absolutely. It hasn't even really started. Yeah. So you can see, look at the cheeses all blended in there. But it's still fluid enough. You know, it's not super dry. So this is perfect, I think. And
It looks perfect.
and then we'll just kind of spoon some in here. I don't think we need all of that. It's beautiful, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful to look at.
And then we'll garnish maybe with a little bit more cheese, and we could do some thyme sprigs on there. Ready?
Yes.
All right.
Mmm. Mmm. More.
Yeah.
Mmm. Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah, it's yummy. All these beautiful vegetables in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this a dish that normally is on the menu?
No.
So
No.
it won't
This
be
was
in
created
June?
just for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, in June, I'll have to eat here every night then. Oh, that's delicious. May I toast to you one more time?
Absolutely. And to you. Cheers. Thank you. So also this will be on the menu the whole month of June. And so every dish that is sold, a percentage of the proceeds, 20% of the proceeds, will go toward your beautiful charity, Arts and Science Literacy Camp.
Yep.
And then also the proceeds from your dinner. So,
That's wonderful.
yeah. And then at the end of the year, you know, because my charity is Courage Milwaukee.
It's a wonderful charity.
Yeah. So I figured at the end of the year, I'll just make a decision and we'll try to spread it amongst all 13 charities.
That's
So
exciting.
yeah, it's a good way to bring awareness to women and also to all these wonderful charities. You know, anything we can do to help get the word out about it. You know,
Builds community.
absolutely.
And it's the power of Milwaukee.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate it. And so if you guys want, please come to Karen's dinner. It will be June 16th. And I know we're going to have some amazing vegetables from the garden. And we're going to have a great dinner. So we're hoping great weather, and we'll hold it outside in our secret garden. I'll have to take you back there because you haven't seen it yet. But so cheers to you. Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to do this.